Anger is bad fuel. That is the topic of today's vlog. It is the 11th of February, 10 a.m. in the morning. This is a chapter, well actually a page out of the Daily Stoic for February the 10th, so yesterday. And today is Hero or Nero. So I'm going to kind of join the two together because I think they're important lessons for everybody in life to kind of realize. Obviously anger doesn't help fuel situations if you're mad about something all the time, right? I also think that anger, if you're angry at stuff all the time, can lead to just constant depression. So people who are suffering from depression every single day, flip off the handle, get angry about everything, and like the previous days that I did about having an opinion about everything, when you're depressed and down, everything is wrong, right? Everything you see in life, you have an opinion about, and it's bad. It's very hard to find a positive outcome in that, and it's very rare to come across something that makes you feel upbeat. The depression can then cascade around, and then you're in a state of anger all the time about being depressed because you don't know the core reason to it. And I think one thing that I've done and had like an inner strength over the years is that you have to dig deep and realize that a lot of that stuff is generated from previous expectations or a frustration you have in the world that you wish was different. But you have to come to the resolution at some point that you can't change things that happen outside of your control. You just simply can't do it. You know, you may be frustrated about the way somebody interprets using video. It might be somebody who does the washing up a certain way, or drives the car, or keeps riding the clutch in the car for some reason, and that's frustrating you because it's not, it's getting damaged and then it has to be repaired at some point. Everybody has these weird quirks, and I think I've had that a lot in a lot of relationships and not realized that I was either the driving factor in that relationship, waiting for those things to happen so that I could blow up about it, but not dealing necessarily with the core underlying things. And you have to really remove a lot of distraction in your life to find kind of a mental peace before you can actually start putting those things into place. Because unless you clear out the coffers of your mind, like with proper meditation, proper reading, like big walks in nature. I think the walks in nature works because it increases blood flow and then you're breathing better, and all of that stuff kind of falls away and it's not important in that moment. It gives you a bit of time to recalibrate yourself. And also the physical fitness is such a boost. Like if you're just sitting around watching TV, bombarded by news articles and Reddit posts and Instagram stories of like influencers in Australia or somewhere, like looking all glam and like, oh, look what I've had for breakfast, I have waffles, like seeing all these kind of created pseudo imagery of what a perfect life might mean to them, and then being in a head state of depression, you're just bombarded by all this stuff that like drives the frustration. So whenever I get a page, like I get in my little you've got to buy this book. It's really good, even if you're not into stoicism, like just for the meditation and perseverance parts. Really, really good, especially if you're the kind of person that goes out for breakfast, or you've got like a routine where you go and have coffee or tea or something at a favorite place. Just one page a day to read this. It'll literally take you 5 or 10 minutes to read one. But yesterday was anger is bad fuel, and I absolutely love this sentence. There is no more stupefying. There is no more stupefying thing than anger. Nothing more bent on its own strength. If successful, none more arrogant. If foiled, none more insane. Since it's not driven by weariness, even in defeat. When fortune removes its adversary, it turns its teeth on itself. And that's what I was kind of getting at the beginning of this, is that depression can really start turning to anger really quickly, and then the way you vent that anger can happen in many different ways. You get keyboard warriors, YouTube commenters, people abusive in relationships, hitting their partner, or like being angry out in society that society should change if like you remove X, Y, and Z. When a lot of this is internal to us, the way we interpret the world around us. And I've always been in this head state of like, am I living or am I existing? Am I just existing within my life, or am I actually living out my life every single day? Am I like pushing myself to change and adapt different methodologies to the way that I live my life, rather than just these hard and fast rules that I've built like in the back of my mind from experiences that I've had that have left me kind of jaded. So I love it when I get that. But then today kind of threw me a lot, because maybe this is like stoicism like in 1000 AD or something, but there seems to be only two outcomes today, like hero or Nero. Like the idea of being a hero or a tyrant, there doesn't seem to be any middle ground to that, and I don't think that's necessarily true, because I think you can be in the middle, observing like a perceived hero to you might be somebody who's an amazing like athlete, or a tyrant, somebody who's a dictator and, you know, just does it for the money and the wealth and the status. But I actually think there's a middle ground to that. I think there's also people in society that have been rocks that I've gone to and been like, you know, absorbed all of their life skills that they've managed to accrue in the last 20 or 30 years, and took some of those and then extrapolated it for the way I live my life. And so I think there's more than just like yes or no when it comes to hero or Nero. But I like the title. It's kind of like an SEO for analog 1000 AD. Yeah, so that's kind of it today. I just wanted to put out a little thing about anger's pretty bad fuel. Like whenever you feel kind of angry about something, I try and not try and tackle it head on or get into a mental masturbation back and forth with somebody. It doesn't serve anybody. Like it doesn't get you anywhere. So I've resorted to building up that inner strength and awareness of who I am and how I'm fueling that situation, because I don't want to add more fuel to somebody else's bad anger. I kind of also subscribe to the idea that nobody has copyright on your life. Like if you want to write, you want to put video, you want to put audio out in the world, you just go ahead and do it. But do it from a place that is not angry or depressed. Do it from a place of clarity, because I think that's when we do our best work, and it's something that I'm always striving for every single day. Yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to put in here today. So go out there and live your best life. Don't live an alt account life. Don't hide behind the shadows of like the downvote of your life, and enjoy every single day, because it's blessed to be here. You know, 1,000 people have just lost their lives in the space of about a month or so because of this coronavirus. You know, there's a whole bunch of people in government there that are angry at some people didn't take care of this situation, although I don't know if anybody in higher up job positions could have stopped something like this virus, this what I think is kind of like a bioweapon of sorts, because of the way that it's built up. Supposedly has like strands of HIV virus in there, which to me sounds like this kind of was engineered in some way, which maybe did it get leaked, or was it an attack of some kind that's been covered up? But firing people who have been at the front line for the last 5 weeks because people are dying, I don't think that makes a lot of sense, unless they really aren't like deploying actionable items. Then sure, change things up, but do we have people to replace those people? Anger can be useful to find out the depth of your frustration, but at some point you have to attack it head on and realize that it's a road to nowhere, and you just end up circling around, existing within it rather than living outside of it. Anyway, I'm off ski. I've got lots of course stuff to do today, and I need more coffee, and I've done all my chores, so I'm ready to go for 10 a.m. in the morning, so I'm pretty stoked about that. All right, I will catch up with you soon. You have a great day wherever you are. If you are depressed, if you are down, if you are frustrated, if you are angry about something, take 2 big glasses of water right now, chuck on your coat, head outside, go and walk 5 miles, recalibrate, come back, write those thoughts down in a blog. Do that every single day. See where you are after a week of that. And then if that's kind of working for you, start looking at your diet, start looking at meditation. I promise you it helps. Even if, like, I know the world, we're overwhelmed with all this data and all this information, but it does help. All right, I'll catch up with you soon. Take care. Bye.